Hey everybody, Ryan here, and today I just wanted to, since we're just past New Hampshire was this past weekend, I was there, but you guys have seen enough of that from the past week already, but I wanted to talk to you guys about, in particular, the Aero package, because I know that's been one of the, things that everybody is either excited for or upset over and everybody has an opinion. I want to hear what you guys think about the Aero package so far this year. And I also wanted to give you guys kind of my thoughts. I will be using my diecast actually to help display some of the changes. So if for somehow you guys have been living under a rock, the Aero package, two of the most notable things, one of them's not noticeable, but the tapered spacer on the engine, restricting horsepower down to around 550. And then the rear spoiler there is much taller than its 2018 counterpart at 9 inches tall. So those are the major changes. So if somehow you were living under a rock and yet still found my channel, um, NASCAR related, and decided to watch, so those are the Aero changes that happened. I also think the rear splitter, or the front splitter, I mean, got bigger. No, but that was one of the slighter changes. But yeah, now that we've seen 19, I believe it is, events with it, we've seen short ovals, we've seen mile and a halves, we've seen super speedways, we've seen road courses, we've even seen banked and flat versions of all those track configurations, pretty much that I just mentioned. And so far, from what I've seen from the package, I mean, just going all the way back to Atlanta, and all the way through, like Atlanta was a good race, but I feel like the tire wear was just too much. Like I think they do need to repave that thing, but I think they should do it not the way they always do it, but yeah, but yeah, I think Atlanta was pretty good race. It was pretty close to how it has been. But yeah, with the new Aero package, so I think it was a big win for the Aero package. Las Vegas, I feel like was a step down for the Aero package, but really a lot of the tracks, I mean, I've noticed that it really works better with the more banking that a track has. So I mean, if we just look at two tracks that we went to, very similar, very close in time span. We had Bristol, an awesome race through and through. Granted, Bristol is, I don't think there's ever been a bad Bristol race, but that's beyond the point. We had an awesome race at Bristol, and a few weeks earlier we had a terrible race at Martinsville, same length track, and I pinned the difference down to Martinsville was flat, and then Bristol was banked. Now I wasn't sure exactly what ended up happening for like I guess it was just the fact that I'm still not sure what happened at New Hampshire that made that. I mean, I know New Hampshire has a little bit more banking than Martinsville, but I mean but they're both very flat tracks. But I mean, like Dover was a pretty good race. I mean, the races that were impacted by rain, really, I feel like they felt like they either went really good or really terrible on them. Like you had the Daytona 400, which I feel like was just a complete mess of an event. Like they were trying to do the best they could with what they had, but available for like time slots, TV stuff, and whatnot. But then um, you also had a race like the Chicagoland race, which was really great despite the rain. And then you have Dover, which I mean was just pretty average, despite even with the rain. So we had varying degrees there. I feel like the Sonoma race was pretty good though. The carousel definitely improved it. Though I do like the picturesque like hopping the curb there. Um, but yeah, so we had road courses. We had Pocono, which we're actually going to this week, which is kind of why I decided that this was a good time to do it because we don't really have too many tracks that are different until we get to like Darlington later this year for like tracks that are on they only have their one thing. But yeah, so we have a lot of repeat tracks like Michigan felt like a baby Daytona, which some people like it, some people didn't. Then you had Pocono, which was pretty bad, mainly because it's a very flat track. Um, with a and when you have a flat track with high drag, I mean the cars are already stuck to the ground at a flat track because of just the weight of these cars, and then you add extra drag to them. It makes it very hard to pass, which is typical Pocono, but it just kind of amplifies that even more. And I would like to see what they can do with Pocono. I definitely don't think they should just scrap it off the schedule entirely. Um, but yeah, so Pocono I think is gonna need some kind of aero change. I'd like to see what they could do if they shorten the spoiler down at tracks like Pocono and Indy. Like I don't think they should touch it at Talladega and Daytona though. Like the Talladega race was really good, and until the rain really started impacting the race on race day, the Daytona race was really good. And then this package, this is what the package was meant to help. It was meant to help the mile and a half, and I think it improved. I think it slightly improved both Atlanta and Las Vegas. Then the next mile and a half was Texas. Massive improvement on Texas. Then I think our next mile and a half was Kansas. Massive improvement on Kansas. Even though Kansas was great last year, it was amazing this spring. And then we had the what was the next mile and a half after Kansas? We went to was Kentucky really the next one? But yeah, Kentucky though, much better than it has been in years past. Wasn't just the MTJ domination show. So yeah, figured I'd go over those though. Um, but yeah, so we got um, so those are some of my thoughts. Some of the other things like I think the road course racing really, I mean, you aren't gonna change road course racing that much by the package. I am interested though to see what it's gonna do at Watkins Glen. Um, in a couple of weeks. Actually, is that 2 weeks away? Watkins Glen? Yay! But yeah, I think the but yeah, I think the road courses though you aren't gonna change the racing drastically via any package really. I mean, a lot of that comes down to the drivers being able to know their braking zones, and that's why I think I'm excited to see how it goes at Watkins Glen because Um, that's really the only road course that is unchanged on the NASCAR schedule because, of course, Snowmat added the carousel, Roval reconfigured their back straightaway chicane. Um, but yeah, so I figured I'd go over the package there though. Um, because that was um, but yeah, that was definitely one of those things that has been a hot button issue all year round. I do want to hear your guys' opinion though. Also, do you guys think I'm right? Do you guys think I'm wrong? Feel free to let me know. Let me know if you think I'm completely clueless. Probably. But yeah. So figured I'd at least make this video now since really there wasn't gonna be a better time I don't think until like I mean yeah I'm still curious to know what it's gonna do to Homestead. Granted, Homestead is being moved around a bunch, and actually, I think Homestead's getting a really bad date next year, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, so, but like, but yeah, so I think though this package, I'd like to see what they can experiment with at least the flat tracks with shortening the spoiler, like maybe for New Hampshire, Martinsville, Pocono, like shortening the spoiler down, seeing what they can do with it. Um, because I think that would make, I mean, it would make the cars handle bad, or handle worse, which I think, which actually helps, which is I think what makes some of these races really spectacular is that the handling, like kind of like with Talladega, there was quite a bit of handling issues. Oh yeah, All Star Race also was awesome, but that was at Charlotte as well. So I think I've covered pretty much every race here in my thoughts. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the description. Also, if you guys want to get Thomas Cup Series T-shirts or just my regular standard merchandise T-shirts or stickers, they're all down below in the description. So if you guys want to go check that out, it's down it's down there. I'm gonna be reworking a bunch of the Patreon stuff, so if anyone wants to donate over there, just know that a bunch of I'm gonna be adding some perks over there and reworking the tiers and everything. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.